Just as she plays the final note, Jackson plays the violin that he picked up, then a blast of light emits from both instruments, with both Crescendo and Jackson playing the note until Jackson finally lets go of the said note, making Crescendo drop her instrument and fall backwards. When Crescendo drops the instrument, the force field goes away, along with the hypnosis of the orchestra. Where am I? What's going on? How'd I get here? Mr. Goodman is explaining everything that went on. While this is happening... Oh, I spelled happening wrong. I didn't even notice that. Anyways, Crescendo picks up her violin and bow and starts running. Jackson notices this. Dad. And then... What? I'm trying to explain. She's getting away. Everyone turns to see Crescendo running away. Why don't we give Crescendo a taste of her own music? Mr. Goodman, and the orchestra play, which causes Crescendo to come flying back to them. What? She tries to move, but the music they're playing prevents her from doing so. I'll be taking this. He takes her instrument. No! Police officers enter and arrest Crescendo. Here's the weapon, officer. The officer takes it. Thank you. I don't think she'll be needing it where she's headed. You might not realize it, but music is everywhere. You shall not silence me for long. I'll be back, and when I see you, you'll regret everything. Watch your head. Crescendo gets in the car and it drives away. Blackout. 2 months have passed, and we see a figure, Crescendo. She escaped from prison with her violin case in hand. It's daytime, and she is disguised as a student teacher and enters Jackson's school and heads directly to the orchestra room. When she gets there, the orchestra teacher, Mr. Gonzalez, doesn't notice who she is, but he does notice her walk in and get her violin out of his case. Class starts in an hour. I'm not here for your pitiful orchestra class. Then why are you here? Who are you? I'm here to conduct your little orchestra. I'm sure it's not the best, but it'll do. Is someone named Jackson Goodman in this class? Who's asking? Bowman. Harmony Bowman. I'm Jackson's aunt. Ah, well, I didn't expect to see you here. Just yesterday, Mr. Goodman was saying that you went out of the country. Must have been a short trip. How was Spain? Ah, marvelous. So marvelous, in fact, that I wanted to show your class a piece I learned there. Well, an hour can go by fast. The students should be coming in. The bell rings. Ding! Right now. Perfect. Can I show you a piece I've been working on, sir? Of course, I'd be delighted. She begins to play, and as she does, Mr. Gonzalez can no longer speak. As the piece continues, he is now ushered into his office just before Nancy, Jackson's best friend, enters the room. Where's Mr. Gonzalez? He's been called away. I'm the substitute. Aren't you a bit short for a teacher? Aren't you a bit sarcastic for an urchin? What was that? Nothing. Just take your seat. Next scene, same room. Everyone is now here, and Crescendo starts the orchestra class. Good afternoon, class. As you can see, Mr. Gonzalez isn't feeling well. A bit tied up at the moment. But as your substitute, I'll conduct this orchestra. As she walks around the room holding the same baton as before, Jackson notices this as she passes out the sheet music to a piece. Symphonia. That's not a teacher. What? It's Crescendo. Who? Crescendo, the supervillain that uses music to hypnotize people? Crescendo notices Jackson and Nancy talking and goes over to them. Something interesting, you two? Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. She walks over to the front of the room again and begins to have everyone raise their instruments. While she does so, Nancy and Jackson have this conversation. What do we do? Should we call your dad? That'll take too long. We need to create a distraction so no one plays the piece. Leave that to me. Nancy stands up. Miss Bowman. Crescendo turns. I need rousing for my bow. And my instruments need tuning too. Right now? Yes. She tunes in rousins, which doesn't take her very long. Not long enough for Jackson to take everyone's music, let alone start doing so. Here. But, all right, let's digress and start playing, shall we? She starts conducting, but is stopped by the bell, and everyone packs up and leaves. She spots Jackson about to leave and stops him. Jackson. She gestures for him to come over and does so reluctantly. Yes, Miss Bowman, or should I say Crescendo? So, you did figure it out. Why are you here? A little song and dance called Revenge, and soon that song and dance will turn into something I'd like to call world domination. So, Jackson, are you ready? Ready for what? The first part of the piece. Revenge. She begins to laugh maniacally and starts to play, but as soon as it affects Jackson, Nancy comes behind her, grabs a nearby cello, and knocks Crescendo unconscious with the end pin. I forgot about that part. Anyways. Okay. Come on, we have to take her instrument before she wakes up. But there's violins everywhere. How will that help? This violin of hers, she's put a spell or charm or something to make it able to hypnotize people. Maybe without this specific violin, none of her tricks will work. Can't you just cast a spell to make another violin do the exact same thing? I'm not sure. If it's magic, that's the thing. If it is, then yes. Then if it's not magic, then I'm not sure what to do about this. Crescendo wakes up unbeknownst to Jackson and Nancy, gently takes her own violin from Nancy's hand, which she doesn't notice. Then with a quiet peace, the gentle giant, Crescendo makes her steps completely silent, along with Jackson and Nancy as well. At this time, she's gone out of the orchestra room and into the auditorium theater, which just so happens to be filled with the entire school. After we see a spotlight on her, we turn back to Jackson and Nancy, who are still in the orchestra room, and hear noises coming from Mr. Gonzalez's office. Page turn. Do you hear that? Yeah, you don't think it's... They open the office door and see Mr. Gonzalez trapped, literally tied up in his office. Mr. Gonzalez? They untie their teacher. I'm guessing that wasn't your aunt, Jackson, was it? No. Wait, Crescendo, she's gone. But where would she possibly want to go? Oh, no. What? She likes music. That probably means she'll love the theater, and everyone in the entire school is there. That means she'll play the piece and everyone will be hypnotized one way or another. Well, what are we waiting for? I'm not letting my fellow teachers and beloved students get hypnotized by a murderous musician.